Hi everyone. So today we're going to be presenting about Malay Archipelago. My name is Melanie Martinez and my groupmate name is Maya Batzin. The approximate whereabouts of the region. So Malay Archipelago is part of the mainland in Southeast Asia. As we can see in these pictures, the South China Sea separates Malaysia into two major regions. These two major regions are called West Malaysia and East Malaysia, and they have coordinates that are 230 north and 112.30 east. Nations and major capital of Malay Archipelago. Okay, so some of the nations in Malay are Brunei, East Malaysia, East Timor, Indonesia, Singapore, Papua New Guinea, and the Philippines. And the major capital of Malay is Kuala Lumpur. Major landforms and climate property. As we can see here, this is one of the major landforms in Malaysia, which is called Croker Range. Then here we have Buffalo Range. Here we also have Trust-Madi Mountains. Then we also have Kelabit Highlands. And we also have Bintang Mountains. Here we also have the Bombalay volcano. And lastly, one of the last major landforms in Malaysia is Mount Tahan. So for the climate, every year in Malaysia, it is tropical in the southwest between the months of April to October, and in the northeast, it is monsoon in between the months of October to February. In the month of October, the lowest average was 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and the highest average was 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Major resource bases. So one of the major resources in Malaysia is petroleum. Petroleum provides fuel for vehicles to run, and then it also helps heat people's homes. Another one of the major resources is tin, because it is used to make parts for cars, and it is also used for the manufacturing of glass. Population size. In Malay, there is about 380 million people. The most populated nations of the region, population size, and major cities. So first we have the nations, and one of them is Indonesia, and the population size is 251,490,000. Then we have the Philippines with a population size of 101,649,000. We also have Singapore with a population size of 5,554,000. Then there's East Timor with a population size of 1,172,000. And lastly, we have Malaysia with a population size of 30,034,000. Then we have the major cities. One of them is Kuala Lumpur with a population size of 7,996,830. Then we have Johor Bahru with a population size of 1,023,900. We also have Ipoh which has a population size of 813,553. We have Cochin, which has a population size of 611,566. And lastly, we have Kinabalu, which has a population size of 549,586. Major civilizations and histories in the region. So Malaysia was inhabited by Homo sapiens, and archaeologists have actually found evidence of Stone Age and early Bronze civilizations. So the area of Sarawak is known to have entered the Iron Age. The Strait Malacca has been a crossroad for people, cultures, and trade to enter Malaysia. And then some places like China, India, the Middle East, and Europe followed other people to begin trading with Malaysia. Some of the things that they would trade are edible bird's nests, rhinoceros horns, hornbills, ivory, camp bar, spices, wood, and metal. Major languages and religions. So in Malaysia, the official language is called Bahasa Malaysia. And in some other parts, in other regions, there's people who speak English, people who speak Chinese, Cantonese, Mandarin, Hokkien, Hakka, Hainan, Fuchou, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Punjabi, and Thai. And in Malaysia, the religions are Muslim, Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Taoism, and other traditional religions, but their official religion is Muslim. Okay, so now we have the cultures, social customs, folklore, music, and dances. So one of the traditional dances in Malay is called joget. And what it does is that it shows the customs of the Malayan true nature and lifestyle while performing this dance. The traditional music is the gamelan and nobat, which are two types of orchestras. Some of the social customs and cultures include that the children of a Malay household are strictly bound by custom to look upon their parents with respect and total obedience. Following Islamic practices, Malays would attend Friday Jummah prayers at a nearby mosque around noon. In some businesses, they would give people a 2-hour lunch break or sometimes even longer on Fridays, so that way the Malays and Muslim workers could go perform their prayers. Sometimes morning school sessions were dismissed early and afternoon sessions would start later, so this way this would give time for the students and parents to carry out their prayers. The Malay formal dress for men is the baju Melayu, which is a loose long-sleeve shirt that is worn over a pair of trousers. The men also have to wear a white cap that is known as a kupai, and it is worn while going to the mosque for prayers. They also have to wear a velvet cap called sangkuk, and it is worn along with the formal dress and leather shoes. On the other hand, the women, they have to wear a baju kurung, which is a loose tunic worn over a long skirt. And they would also have to wear a shawl that is known as a selendang, and it is used to cover their head. Another custom is that a Malay woman cannot leave the house for 40 days after the birth of her child. At the end of this period, a ceremony called bercukur is conducted, and during the ceremony the child's head is shaved. When a guest visits a home and the host greets them, they have to say an Arabic phrase which is Assalamualaikum, which means peace be upon you. And some of the traditional foods in Malay are nasi, lemak, hoki, mee, and apam balik. The political structures, organizations, and issues. In Malaysia, there is a federal parliamentary monarchy where the Prime Minister of Malaysia is the head of government. In Malaysia, they also have a multi-party system. There is a constitutional system which includes the executive, legislative, and judiciary branches. The executive is vested in the cabinet that is led by the Prime Minister, and the members of the cabinet are all chosen from members of both houses of parliament, and they are responsible to that body. The legislative, what they do is that they have the power of the political system of Malaysia, and it is divided between the federal and the state legislators. Then we have the judiciary, which is independent of the executive and the legislator. And even though the executive maintains a certain level of influence in the appointment of judges to the courts. Some of the political organizations in Malaysia are the Barisan Nasional, National Front, and the governing coalition of 14 parties that forms the United Malays National Organization, or for short UMNO, the Malaysian Chinese Association, for short MCA, and the Malaysian Indian Congress, for short MIC. And some of the issues that are happening right now in Malaysia, one of the major issues is that the head minister is stepping down, so that would mean that it is leaving Malaysia without a prime minister. The economic organization, level of development, and economic development issues. So some of the economic organizations in Malaysia are the Malaysian Economic Association, or for short MEA, the Najib, and lastly the Asian Economic Community. So for the last 20 years, the Malaysian economy has been transformed because at first it started from a low income supplier of raw materials, and now it is a middle income, emerging, multi-sector market economy that is driven by manufactured exports, which are mainly electronics and semiconductors. But however, some other things that Malaysia exports are palm oil, petroleum, and liquefied natural gas. They also export wood and wood products, rubber, textiles, chemicals, and solar panels. As of right now, some of the economic issues that are occurring in Malaysia are that there is low rises in productivity, there is a skills shortage, and there is also a gapping current account deficit. Lastly, we have the social form and social issues. In Malaysia, one of the social issues is the drug abuse. There is also alcohol abuse among the teenagers, which is a huge problem because it could lead to brain damage, car accidents, and addiction. In Malaysia, there is also a high rate of unemployment among graduates, and the reason is because many of these jobs require experience before actually being able to hire them. And well, yeah, that was it for our presentation, everyone. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.